Chris from the Adaptive Sports Foundation, and in this next segment of ASF today, I'm going to talk to you about tubeless tires. One of our previous segments, Nick Bowe from Window Mountain Outfitters did a segment on changing a flat tire, and in that case you would be replacing a tube that had a flat for one reason or another. And so some bicycle tires, like your car tires, don't have a tube. They're called tubeless. Makes sense, right? So a tubeless bike tire fits on the rim just like a normal bicycle tire, but the rim has a special tape inside so that it becomes airtight, watertight, as you'll see in a second. And so I've got this tire, excuse me, pretty much all the way on the rim, except for this last little bit, if you can see, and that's gonna take me a minute to pry back on there. But before I do, I'm gonna fill it with some sealant. And you'll know your car tire doesn't come with sealant in it, but you've heard of Fix-A-Flat or products like that. This is a product called Stan's No Tubes. There's a bunch of other products similar on the market. This is just the brand I happen to have. And you put a little bit of this in the bottom of the tire that's exposed here. And when I seat the bead of the tire onto the rim and fill it up with air, it's going to give me this little bit of liquid sealant inside the tire that will help seal a flat if I happen to run over, say, a staple that would poke a little hole in your tire and in your tube. This sealant will rush to the hole and clog it up and dry in place and prevent you from actually even knowing you got a flat, very likely. Having this sealant in your tires also allows you to run a lower tire pressure and not worry about a pinch flat. If you remember in Nick's video, he talked about the snake bite pinch, which is from usually like hitting a curb or hitting a pothole where your tube gets pinched between the curb or the pothole and your bicycle rim. I am struggling to open this, so I'm going to see if I have a tool in my handy roadside tool repair kit. I do. All it took, poke a little hole. Good opportunity to take my signature sip of coffee, because if you know me, you know that I don't go very far without a cup. Oh yeah, better. Okay. So this is not as common to do on road bikes. It's getting more common, but it's very common on mountain bikes. And the reason for that is pinch flats are very common on mountain bikes. When you're running that low tire pressure, you're able to get great traction. Great traction allows you to feel more confident, go faster, until you hit that big rock. That would be the equivalent of a pothole or a curb on a road bike. And that big rock causes you to lose all the air in your tire. Now you're not having any more fun. So as you can see, little bit of a milky substance there. That's my sealant that I just poured into the tire. And now I'm going to go through the not so fun task of prying. So one of the reasons this is a little bit less fun than with a traditional tire and tube is because these tubeless tires, they're a little bit thicker. You know, you don't have 2 layers of rubber with a tube and a tire. So the thicker rubber isn't as pliable. And it's meant to fit the rim very tight, again, so that you don't lose air. That's the whole point. So this is a little bit of a not fun process. I am going to use a tire lever. This is okay with a tubeless tire because I don't have in here to pinch. And this will give me just a little bit of extra leverage when it comes to prying this tire up over the bead of the rim. Okay, last little bit, popped over. My valve stem here is in place. This is a special tubeless valve stem. That's an important aspect of this whole process, is you need a tubeless valve stem that's in place. So now, traditional pump. With a road bike tire, you can usually get away with a traditional pump. mountain bike tires, oftentimes you need a compressor just to hit that rim with enough air pressure at once to get everything to pop. All right, so I said it out loud, so of course it's not going to work. So I'm going to try a trick. You can see I'm leaking a little bit of sealant everywhere. I'm going to try a trick, and that's using a CO2. It's a faster, more powerful burst of air. So oftentimes this happens fast enough oh, come on. Doesn't want to go. Close. Come on, baby. There it goes. Whew. All right, so she's almost in place. I've almost got enough air in there. I'm gonna spin the tire. See some of the sealant flying away. Not a job to do in the living room, which is often where I do my bicycle wrenching. Shh, don't tell my wife. So spinning the tire helps the sealant kind of move around in the tire and coat everything nice and tight. And now I'm gonna top off the tire pressure. Like I said, one of the benefits to running a tubeless tire, lower tire pressure. That allows for a little bit more comfortable ride. That popping sound here is good. That's normal. That's the piece of the tire called a bead that clicks into place in the rim so that everything is held in place nice and tight. So I'm going to pump this up to 100, even though ultimately I'll run it a little softer than that, just to help get everything in place. Give it a good spin again. Eyeball it and see if it looks centered and even, which it does. I didn't think to bring a rag. I'll use my shop bag here. So, even. I'll take a minute to wipe that up a little bit better, make sure it's clean before I let my brake pads touch it. But there I go. I set up a tubeless tire for my road bike. Feel free to send me a message, reach out in any way if you have any questions, or if I can help you decide whether or not tubeless is right for you and your applications. Thanks. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.